of looking at our budget and creating a spending plan for the 2012-2013 school year. Of course, we do this with the understanding that it's in many cases until the Senate and the Assembly and the Governor are able to finalize their budget that we're working in essence without knowing what our full revenue will be from the state. As you're aware, state aid makes up approximately over 50% of our budget. I will say in relation to that I just returned from Albany as a representative for the Rural Schools Association, and we were able to meet with many Assembly men, women, and state senators, and we were very well received, and it resonated to us from our representatives that they are in agreement that additional funding has to be put in place to help our local and in particular our rural schools. Right now, both the houses have agreed that they will reduce the governor's competitive grant program from $250 million to $50 million, and that $200 million would then be directed back towards the schools. The only thing left to discuss in terms of this will be the manner that it is then proportionally given to the schools. The Assembly has said that they would allocate $178 million of that to general school aid, and that the minimum increase that everyone would get would be 1%. And so if you look at what the state aid is in terms of Alfred-Almond, what that in essence would mean, and this is an approximate figure, would be that Alfred-Almond would receive approximately $60,000 more in aid, while certainly not enough to offset the over $3 million in the past 3 years that the gap elimination adjustment has given to us. It is certainly a positive step, and I think one of the most positive aspects of it is that our representatives recognize the needs of the schools and are working within the confines that they can to help address it. So with that in mind, we'll be adding that to the budget equation in the discussions that we will continue to have as well. The Senate would look to put the $200 million into a further reduction of the gap elimination adjustment, and that truly would impact schools to a greater degree, because the sooner that the gap elimination adjustment is eliminated, the sooner that we can get back to the foundation aid formula. So that's where we would be going right now. In terms of that, we understand that there's still a significant gap for Alfred-Almond to make up. And to do that, we can either increase our revenues, such as the state aid, or we can decrease our expenditures. These are many of the conversations that we've been having. Though the budget is not finalized, it will continue to evolve. The spending plan needs to be in place for April, and we will continue to work towards that end. So good news in terms of some additional revenue, which is excellent. We'll put that into the budget and the formulas, but as we are aware, there is still work to be done to trim additional costs to meet the reduced state aid that we have. So we'll be looking very critically at all aspects of the school and the program, and we'll go from there. As we're aware, this is further compounded by the fact that with the 2% tax cap, we cannot, in essence, go out to our community and say, we need this revenue. We're limited in that regard. And of course, a 2% tax cap is never a 2% tax cap. And with the formula that's run for us, a 2% tax cap would, in essence, mean that the tax levy would be approximately 2.6 to 2.8% increase, which is actually exactly what we had last year. So, that I found that interesting.